Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RPDL Jewel Division Power Rankings. My name is Spades, and joining me today is none other than NINJOSH.
Hello, what's going on?
Well, we got 16 teams here, new Showdown Division for one of the coolest draft league formats I've ever seen.
It is pretty cool.
Like having mythicals also that are not even in Sword and Shield makes this very interesting.
Yeah, it's very unique, I'll say that.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of these Pokemon where I'm gonna have no idea what they do.
Yeah, I'm looking at one right now, Hoopa. I
Yeah,
legitimately have no idea what that thing does.
oh, perfect. So we'll just get started with the first team. Now, this is the order for this is the draft order. So this is who got the number one pick, and this is Dylan G and the Royal Kingdras. And right away, he first picked Hoopa Unbound, which
Yep.
all we can see here is the stats, and that thing is scary.
Yeah, 170 special attack.
160
It's
attack
okay.
also.
And 160. Yeah, it's okay. It could be a little bit better.
Yeah, it could be like 200.
Yeah,
Uh,
not the
to
greatest.
to round it out, though, we have Metagross Entei, which is a pretty solid combination. Kingdra Politoed,
hmm
another very solid combination. Tapu Bulu Halucha, another solid combo. Togepi Lugia and Armaldo to round it
Yeah,
out.
seems like they're just drafting in twos.
Yeah, well, Armaldo fits in with the rain stuff. Togepi is
Yeah,
the goat,
yes, it is. It
and
actually makes sense though, because they're wheel, so it does make sense they would draft in core in double
yeah,
cores
that's
because
fair.
it's pretty
That's
safe.
actually how this was drafted. It looks like too, because they had first
Yeah.
pick,
hmm
then the wheel, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Another note is since the restricteds can't max, a lot of restricteds lose a lot of value. So Lugia is, I think, one of the better restricteds in this format because it doesn't really need to max, whereas something like Dialga, I think, needs to max in this format.
And I think paired with Togepi is pretty good as well, because it does tend to rely on setting itself up because by itself it kind of just sits there. It's really bulky, obviously, but it's not really doing much, especially without max.
Right, yeah.
Um,
So you're going to be
so
playing like a Calm Mind Recover kind of game with it a lot of the
mhm.
time.
That multi-scale is going to be very, very useful.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the scariest thing though is Hoopa gets the Dynamax.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that is
That is a
the one thing holding it back
170
though.
base
It has,
power special
yeah,
attacker.
that's crazy. Luckily, it only has 80 speed, so, and they don't seem to have very good speed control on this team, which is one thing that they could do a little bit better on some free agents possibly.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean the Rain Core is obviously really good um, speed control. The one thing that I'm really missing here is a dedicated support mon.
yeah, I agree.
So, like this team is all offense and Togepi,
Yeah,
and like I think having some way to like have fake out or have uh, charm, fake tears, something. I think that this team is clearly lacking from that.
yeah, I agree. Another thing is that, well, I was about to say they're really reliant on rain, but they're not super reliant. Like Metagross likes rain, Armaldo kind of needs rain. Bulu likes rain. Lugia does get some water, some strong water moves, but it doesn't seem overly reliant. I do think that it'll be coming a lot. Probably close to 75% of their matches are probably going to be bringing some sort of rain. Um,
Yeah, I can see
so that
that.
is
I will
so that
say,
is something that,
good luck
yeah,
predicting what maxes.
yeah, that will be very difficult. Hoopa can max, Metagross can max, Entei can max, Kingdra can max, Bulu can max.
Politoed
Um,
can max.
Poly Politoed
I've
can
done it
max.
before, multiple times
Um,
actually in draft.
yeah, this is gonna get me some hate, but I actually think that Pelipper is the better rain setter. Um, just because it's more offensive and it has a better typing.
I don't know about more offensive because Politoed does a 90
Well,
special attack. It is missing
Pelipper gets
Hurricane.
95,
Oh, it hits
and it get in
95.
Hurricane.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
I just like doing belly
hurt.
drum stuff when I want to have fun. So
Belly drum Politoed.
yeah,
Wait, they can actually do that. They have Togepi for Follow Me.
right. Well, Politoed is also like Parish song stuff as well, which
Yeah.
a lot like at least how I like playing Kingdra is get 2 kills and then Politoed Parish songs like you just go straight hyper offense,
hmm
which is
And
another
then
thing this
switch
team can
to a
do.
defensive. hmm
That having said that though, this team's not that defensive, so that doesn't work out.
Yeah, they have what, two defensive options really? They have Lugia and then
Togepi.
well, Metagross is like it's the most bulky thing other than Lugia on their team. It's like I guess you I mean it is pretty defensive, but like I mean their rain is gonna help with like fire stab and stuff. Which is usually special, so
Yeah.
that'll help a lot. But yeah, really Lugia is the main defensive piece. And the rest of it is pretty hyper offensive. So that is one thing that it struggles with a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just worrying how many sweeps is Hoopa gonna get. That's the only
Yeah,
question I have is how good Hoopa is, because I don't think either of us have experience with Hoopa in doubles.
yeah, no. Actually, let me look and see what coverage it gets real quick.
I hope not a lot.
Yeah, I'd expect not much more than 8 stabs.
What was Magician again? Wasn't it if
It's
he
like
hits
it
a?
switches your items or something.
Isn't it if he hits you and like Hoopa doesn't have an item, he takes it?
Yeah, if this Pokemon has no item, steals the item off a Pokemon it hits with an attack. Oh, so when it
That's
hits, it's like
interesting.
Snatch, but for every move, or not Snatch, Thief, but for every move.
Huh. But is that for physical? Like, do you have to like? Is it like
I don't
uh,
know. I
you?
don't think it is. I think it's just every. Also, it does have very very good coverage,
Oh
like
no.
insane. It has as fighting, it has grass, fire, dark, normal, obviously, poison, ice, dark. Oh, yeah, I already said dark. Well, dark is a stab, so ghost, psychic, obviously, bug, electric.
Okay, so
It
more
gets
than
it gets
enough.
trick room.
More than enough
um,
coverage. So,
dream eater. It gets gravity. Oh, that's interesting.
ooh,
Skill swap.
okay.
Quash. Why does it get quash? Psych up.
So
They
overall, I
could.
think that this team is definitely strong. I just think that
Yeah.
its game plan is rather linear, no matter which way you go about it.
Yeah. I agree.
So I think a solid 8.5 or 8 is probably satisfactory. This is a really good team. Like
Yeah, I
Dylan
agree.
drafted a really good team.
It is very solid.
So I think I'm down to give him the high end of that because I think that this team can do a lot of good work. Because
hmm
good luck preparing for all this.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on next, we have the Dallas Dragonites, coached by Arc Gaming, who had the second pick. And what I thought was rather interesting in this format in particular, he first picked Rillaboom.
Rillaboom is insane, and first pick.
I just think
Will never ever think that it's bad.
I just like in this format with mythicals and restricteds, you would think like you would pick one of those first because I don't know, some are really powerful, but Rillaboom is just the insane Pokemon they added this generation that is a little too good.
Rillaboom always works. So first pick um is never early. I think personally, anything less than 18 points for Rillaboom is wrong. Like
It was
it has to
16
be at
points
least
in this
18.
league. That's
It
insane.
was 16.
Yeah, look on this side.
That was
On
a
the side
steal.
here, it shows how many points they're worth and how many points the coach has remaining.
Wow, that's crazy. But looking at this team as a whole, It definitely circles around Colossal, and it does that very, 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 very well. It has literally every single part of
It has Surf and
a Colossal
Aquajet.
team.
That's what you need, and you
Hmm
have Rillaboom, which is the greatest switch in for Colossal.
It also grassy terrain helps it a lot
The ground.
for earthquakes,
I just meant like
ground moves.
switching
Yeah.
into like Max Quake or Max Geyser.
Oh yeah.
Rillaboom
That
takes that
works as
hard.
well.
Now, you see the Zacian and it's not crowned. Zacian crowned was banned
Oh yes,
because of
it
how
was.
strong that thing is.
Yes.
So my question to you is, should we be worried about regular Zacian?
Hmm. Well, let me look at its stats. It's like what, like
130
130.
attack, 138 speed. That is fast. That is 8 points faster than Spectrier.
So the thing is with this is looking at it, it has the exact same stats as Crowned, except it's like 40 less attack and 10 less speed. And it still gets the +1 boost
Right,
to
but
its
it doesn't
attack,
get
right?
Stab Behemoth Blade.
You're right. It does get
But
Iron Head.
you can run any item you want.
Yes.
And that's the
I
part
think
where I'm scared. Because, like, you give
yeah.
this thing an assault vest, and all of a sudden you can't kill it.
I think this is going to be very strong. I don't think it'll be the strongest. Um,
It'll serve the same purpose as, like, an Urshifu on a team where it's, like, in the back, gonna clean up kills.
yeah, and it has a very good typing as well. Like Mono Fairy, just being as offensive as it is, I think is very good. Because really, like your main check to it is Steel, right? And it
And
gets
Poison,
fighting moves. Well, yeah, but like
which,
Poison isn't really much of a, like there's not that much poison stuff going around. So um, I think this is going to be. I think this season is very strong because it has less weaknesses and it can hold an item still.
yeah. And then the Unburdened stuff with Thievel and Driftblim. And I guess say from personal
Hmm
experience, I like both of these mons.
Drifloon is very good.
Yes, the
I've used Drifloon in the
Will-O-Wisp,
past.
Strength Sap, uh,
Tailwind.
Tailwind, yes, that's the big one. A lot of people run Acrobatics, but it doesn't have enough attack for me to enjoy using
Yeah,
that. Like, it just does no damage with that.
I only bring it for stuff like when there's like a Rizian or something like that beside. It's like quad weak.
Hmm. Yeah, and then Thievel gets beat up, so like you can beat up Keldeo that way, even though you're gonna run special Keldeo most of the time. I think Keldeo's ability is kind of useless,
Yeah, it is.
which is kind of a shame, but
Hmm Um, and then they can also do weakness policy Dragonite stuff with Sneasel.
Self Ice Shard.
Yeah.
Inner Focus is a great ability for Sneasel and Dragonite also, because you don't have to run like multi-scale every week for Dragonite. If your opponent has Fake Out Mons and you want to go Aqua Jet into Colossal, that's what Dragonite's good for. So,
hmm Yeah, it is good with that.
unfortunately, I think that's the main game plan for this team. I don't see many
Yeah,
other avenues
it
of attack. Claydol can set Trick Room, and then you can still do Colossal that way, but I think Colossal's your main game plan here, and a lot of people seem to be prepping for that.
like I've noticed in the past, Colossal is not as good in draft as many would think it is
There's one
because
exception to that rule I have, and is if you have Dragapult.
yes, if you Dragapult, then like you're gonna go far.
Yes, because the
But
point is you use Dragapult offensively sometimes, and you win
yeah,
games because it's a Dragapult. You just have a Colossal on your team.
okay. Now that I think about it, I think possibly the best core in a VGC draft you could ever have is probably um so Rillaboom, Colossal, and Dragapult, and then also either Terrakion or Cobalion.
Yeah, because Dragapult gets beat up stuff too, which Thievul is
And
serving
then
as that beat up mon here, which I guess doesn't help Kellio at all. But
yeah, and
Thievul
then
with
those
like
four.
Snarl and Taunt also, just nice.
Yeah,
And then if you've ever seen Meowstick, Meowstick does stupid things.
Yeah, it does.
So I think this team is also good, but I think this team is much harder to do crazy stuff with.
Hmm.
It's solid though. You
Yeah.
got a lot of you got a good mix of support. I think you're lacking on the offense a little bit, but other than that, I think this team is fine.
Yeah, they have they have Rillaboom, Zacian, Keldeo, Dragonite sometimes, and then Colossal.
Mhm.
So, and then about and some of those require support. So,
All right, so what are
but
we
yeah, I think
thinking
it's
for a number? I think it's worse than the first team we saw. Just so I'm gonna give it an 8.
um
I don't know what you're
yeah,
thinking.
I think it's like slightly worse. Just because they're even more linear than the
8.4.
other team than the other one.
Just go right underneath it. But yeah, I think that this team is decent enough. It can easily make the playoffs. I think you can make playoffs with this team. You
Yeah.
just got to be really aware that your opponent's going to prepare for Colossal.
But you can use it to your advantage though, because like you could bring something like Weakness Policy Rillaboom out of nowhere.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to one of the meme teams in this division. So I
Palatable.
I decided to
You
draft Mono Steel,
okay? I think the thing is though, like a lot of the stuff on this team actually works. So
which is
like,
not okay. Why does it work? Like when I look at my own team, it's like, why do the things on this team work? I think
yeah,
most of
because
that
like,
reason is somebody left Arceus for me.
and you got Majerna,
Yes.
and then Bronzons. How did you? I don't know how you got. What round is that? It's like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. You got round eight Heatran.
No, I had to bribe Arc Gaming for that.
Oh.
Which he wanted Colossal, like he saw Colossal, so
Oh,
then he
so
dropped it. So
yeah,
like it wasn't
that's
like I bribed him, it's just more like he didn't want Heatran, so but
yeah,
yeah, this is probably the best you can do with Mono Steel. Magirna is I
yeah. You
think the
did draft the
best.
best steel types, except for like Ferrothorn.
Ferroseed
But
is actually not terrible.
yeah, it does pretty much the same thing, except not as well. So
No, you don't get body press, but you get like Leech Seed stuff.
yeah, it still has 91 defense and 86 special
Yeah,
defense,
but I
and you
think
get
Magirna is the best
EVOA.
mythical for steel types. Celesteela
Oh yeah,
is the best steel type probably in general. Uh, it's hard
it's
to
up
argue
there.
with that. I have a gym challenge team, like a gym leader team, where it's just Celesteela, Togedemaru, and every game it's just Celesteela weakness policy. That's all I ever did, and I won every game. So,
Even though it's just one strong heat wave away from.
well, that's what Klefki's for. Klefki gets
Oh,
Rain Dance. It was needed.
oh, true, it does.
Yeah, I think everything on his team was needed except for maybe Durant, but Durant was just because I needed something fast.
Yeah, yeah, you are lacking a little bit in the speed department.
But however, Arceus is stupid. This thing gets Tail Whip.
Arceus is
This thing
stupid.
gets Trick Room. This gets every coverage move known to man. It gets
Yeah,
Recover. It gets Screens. It gets
it
Status
gets
moves.
literally everything.
This thing is dumb. How did it last this long? The only thing saving it is Arceus can't max because it's considered restricted in this league.
Yeah,
If Arceus could max, I would win every game.
possibly.
Now, I'll probably only win 50%. But that's beyond the point.
This mold breaker Excadrill kind of solos his team. Not gonna lie.
You can't. Well, Celesteela does a
Oh
decent
yeah,
job
other than
there.
Celesteela. Stop on a Dracozolt with it.
Well, that's what Iron or Lightning Rod Togedemaru's for.
Yeah, but Excadrill outspeeds and Oko's it.
Well, if I'm
So
Sash or Sturdy, well, most likely be
yeah. Well, he
Sash.
can't be sturdy if you're Lightning Rod, so
I've run Sturdy red card before. That's always funny.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, I don't see this team is at most like a 4. Just because if you look at this type chart, which is pretty funny, it's actually not that bad. That's actually not that terrible. I have a fire weakness, a fighting weakness, and a ground weakness. And a ghost weakness.
So yeah, you have all of Steel's weaknesses plus Ghost.
Which the ghost is only from Bronzong.
Yeah, and then you have no resists. So
But I am very good against poison types.
yes, you are. So whoever drafted Mono Poison, then better watch out. No one
No
drafted Mono
no
Poison.
one. There
So
was another mono type team, but it was not poison.
all right. So what are we gonna rank this? Like
I was thinking just a 4. I
yeah,
think my type weaknesses are gonna kill me.
maybe we'll see, won't we?
But I have the highest quality steel Pokemon, and nobody can
You
take that
do.
from
You have
me.
all of them. Yeah. You have Bronzong. Bronzong is the best Steel type in the game.
Oh man, Zach is gonna make me put a power herb on this thing at one point.
No, if you okay, if you had some sort of if you like brutal swing on something, you can run a weakness policy,
I
and
do
then it
like
doesn't look
brittle
like you have any.
swing.
So I made this team. It was Raichu with speed swap and brutal swing, and then it was weakness policy
Oh,
Bronzong, and everybody led incorrectly into it, and then they all thought I was gonna like fake out and trick room, but no, it was brutal swing and
that's
max
cool.
steel or whatever.
I think we built a heat-proof me power herb Bronzong with Indeedee female, because Bronzong gets
Oh,
expanding force. So we
oh
set Trick
no.
Room, use Meteor Beam, get the boost, and then we're in Psychic Terrain, spamming expanding force. That
Yeah,
was
you should
so
try that
funny.
again. That'd be pretty funny.
But for the
Just have
most
it
part,
set
all
its
it's
own
gonna
psychic
do is
terrain.
like bulldoze Magearna,
Yeah,
which has
yeah, that makes
stupid
sense.
stats also.
Hmm.
But we don't need to harp on Magearna too much. It's really strong. All right, let's move on. We got All Star Caliber and his team, which has probably the best name. I got your nose pass. Best team name probably in the league. And he has Calyrex Ice.
Yes, they do. One thing I'm noticing up front is they pretty much lose to intimidate. Just
I mean, other
yeah.
than Defiant Tornadus.
Yeah, Defiant Tornadus. Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
Intimidate is a clear weakness here. You have Drampa and you have Araquanid, who, well, Araquanid can run either.
Yeah. Literally water bubble's the only reason why.
Oh wait, no, you
I,
never run special Araquanid. I just saw. I didn't know it had 50 special attack.
I think I've seen it before, not in VGC. I've seen it in singles. But like what literally the only reason why I think it was mixed actually because um
But you run
you
like
can still
Scald to
run
try
like
to burn
yeah,
things. That's about all you
uh-huh.
use it for. And like you can be
Yeah,
bulky with
that's
it, but yeah, this team's definitely weak to. I mean, you can run Inner Focus Mudsdale.
yeah,
That's
I don't know why you do that, but you can. You have Cincino with Bullet Seed, so you just do weakness policy, honestly.
yeah. I've
Weakness
seen that
policy
strat
stamina.
before. That's a good one.
It's good if you don't see it coming, but if you do see it coming, then like it's not too hard to deal with it.
There's one
So
thing I see that upsets me is that you can't do the copycat trick room because Calyrex can't max.
oh no. Wait, you can still do it with Porygon too.
Which I guess
You have
that was
max
my
Porygon
next
too.
point right away. Porygon 2 is actually a much better offensive mon than people think.
It is, yeah. Did you see Aaron Zhang's his video with
The
the
double,
offensive?
yeah, it had both. It had max
It was
attack, max
mixed.
special attack. That was the
Yeah.
strangest set I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it worked though. That was the funny. I think it's
Yeah,
like both Giga Impact
P2
and
is
Fly
one of the
Attack or
hardest
something.
Pokemon to use correctly, though. I see
It
so many
is, but
people use it wrong.
if you can use it correctly, it's very, very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, this team's got a lot of like Tailwind and Trick Room options, and then the mythical that can Dynamax is Zera Aura. The
Yes.
only thing I know about it is Plasma Fists is its move.
Yeah, it's like it's really fast. It's like slightly slower than. Oh wait, no, it's slightly faster than Dragon Ball.
It's
I'm
one
pretty
point
sure.
faster than Dragapult,
Yeah, 143.
which it also is
It's
the fastest fake out in the game.
yes. However, it only has like 115 attack or something.
112. You can see it on the screen.
Um, oh right, it's right down there. Yeah. Sorry,
This
112
chart's
attack and
great.
102. So I think Zeraora is not one of the better um mythicals. It just doesn't really have a ton going for it. It has like fake out and it's really fast. And yeah.
That's
Well, it
about
has
it.
taunt as well. It
Eh,
has and it gets electro up. Actually, maybe might not be that bad. It could
for
be really
speed,
good
yeah.
supportively.
You have better
It
speed
could be good
control with Tornadus, though.
yeah. But then like the thing is the Tornadus is like what is benefiting from Tailwind here? Like everything else other than Zero
Fast
Aura is
Calyrex.
like Trick Room. Fast Calyrex.
I'm trying here.
You could scarf it. I
Yeah,
mean,
this team
yeah,
looks like
scarf
it's a
it,
bunch of
max speed.
mismatched pieces.
I agree.
Like
Yeah.
Tornadus doesn't
It has
seem
like
to fit. Like I think this team is really missing a follow me user.
yeah, I agree. It does need to follow me, and it also needs more fast mods. Its speed tiers are not that good because if you look, it's 143 all the way down to 115 to
Mm-hmm.
111, which is good, and then all the way down to 60.
115
So
speed
like,
Cinchino. That's insane.
yeah,
I don't realize
like
how
you have,
fast that is.
yeah, it is very fast. But then like you have the top three, and then everything else is 60 and below. Like that's pretty bad. Like any mid-speed mon is going to take advantage of this by shutting down Trick Room somehow,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't really do anything to it, right? Because like
Yeah.
um,
Like
they can't keep up.
if I had an actual team and I was prepping for this team, the two things I would look at is how can I lower attack, how can I stop Trick Room.
Yeah,
That burns every plan possible. Like,
hmm
because lowering
and then also
attack is,
Will-O-Wisp.
yeah, like lowering attack is not that hard with Will-O-Wisp or Charm or Intimidate. Stopping Trick Room can be difficult, but I don't think it's difficult here. Because it's just like Calyrex Ice, which can't max, so you can't even like fake stuff with that. P2 is bulky, but it's gonna get taunted, and you
And then
have
it can't
to,
really do much after
yeah,
that.
it's just gonna try attack you. And if your opponent can build their sets correctly, this thing will always get plus attack.
Hmm
Which, if you run physical Porygon 2 at that point, you're next level. But nobody does that because they don't want to think that much.
Okay, what my opinion for what they should do is they should switch out one of their Trick Room mons and then get Zapdos Galar or a different competitive or Defiant user
Just to,
that's like
yeah,
100 speed, like around that level. Like that could be very good for your team.
just so you have some counterplay to intimidate.
Yeah, and then also to patch up the speed tiers.
Yeah. So as far as a rating, I think it's actually below my team. So I think it's like a 3. I think that there's just clear holes.
I think maybe like 3.5 or something because
All
like once
right.
if they get Trick Room up, like they can do stuff.
Yeah, and
Like they
also you
have
said
very
Cinchino
solid.
Mudsdale, which is a great combination.
It
So,
is a very good combination.
I think there's just too many things that this team needs to go right, and it's going to be more of a headache trying to get it to function.
Hmm
So, all right. Next up, we have the St. Louis Battle Haluchas, which is another great team name, coached by Cram, and we see Calyrex Shadow this time.
And
Uh,
Shaman Sky.
and Shaman Sky, yes. So, you like Max Airstream.
Yeah.
How do you like
Like
stab 120 base special attack Max Airstream?
so it looks like it's just gonna be like Jirachi but hyper offense. Does it get okay, it does not get Thunder Wave. If you got Thunder Wave, that would be pretty broken. with air slash.
So you can do. I mean, I
Um,
think you just max airstream with this thing and you do lots of damage.
yeah. And then you can pair it with like um Shadow Rex or something and just keep on clicking buttons.
Yeah,
Did it get fighting coverage? I think it does not. If it did, that would be pretty good. Oh, it does get fairy, so like Dazzling Gleam, so that could
it
have a
gets
effect.
dazzling gleam. Jeez.
Yeah, anything that looks vaguely like a fairy gets Dazzling Gleam these days. So,
Yeah. And I guess other
it also
parts of
has
the team,
Togekick.
yeah, Togetic, which I
Togetic is
I
very good on
I have
this.
nicknamed it. I have it in another league. I nicknamed it Meat Shield because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that is
This
exactly
thing,
what it is.
I had it live two Latias attacks. One of them was with weakness policy boosted Latias. They were both max Mind Storm, and it lived
What?
those two hits.
Well, I'm just gonna wait for them to do like they're gonna max it, run hustle, and then run physical, and then
Oh,
volt switch
please,
Jolteon into the
please do
Togetic.
that. Oh, they would be a hero if they did
They
that.
would, and if they need to win though, that's the other thing.
Well,
If
what
they
they're
don't
going to
win, then
do is just shell smash Blastoise and go to town. That's what they're going to do.
yeah, yeah, and maybe nasty plot Shadow Rex or something.
Ooh. And Calyrex is one of those restricteds that doesn't need to max
Yeah,
because Astral
it
Barrage is
actually
all
works
you need.
better not maxed in my opinion.
You lose a lot of like single target damage, but I think it can be a nice sweeper in the back to finish off the
Yeah,
game. It's really fast. Its
if
typing
you
is
lead
really
in
bad,
correctly.
but
If you lead incorrectly into Shadow Rex, you just lose because if it gets +2, then
yeah.
it's over.
The only thing
Like there's
I'm
nothing you can
missing
do.
here, this is just my preferences is psychic terrain
Yeah, I do
because
think Psychic Train could be really good here.
now granted you have redirection, but Sucker Punch is still a move I would bring against this team just because
Yes.
of Calyrex.
Hmm.
I mean, you can set it with Slowking Galar max, but it looks like you want to be maxing Shaman or Blastoise with this team 90% of the time.
Yeah, maybe the occasional like Bisharp, Cephalon or
If
something.
Bisharp gets a Defiant boost, I can see it. Or
But it
maybe
likes to click Sucker
Jolteon.
Punch, so
Or, yeah, well, that's too. Or if Jolteon is like in a good spot, you can max Jolteon.
hmm.
But I think that's what this
But
team's mainly going to do. And it's got Togetic for the redirection. And it's got Persian, which I talk highly about. You can't underestimate
Persian's very under
Charm or Icy
parting
Wind.
shot. Wait,
I
does he
don't
get parting
I
shot
don't
and
think
fake
regular
out?
Persian gets it. It gets fake out
Okay,
though. But
okay, because the Alolan Persian is so underrated. It's like
oh, it's so good. It's so
it's
much. It's better than
very, very
regular
good.
Persian because it gets better moves. But regular
Hmm.
Persian is
Hmm.
still a cheap support with Icy Wind, Taunt, Fake
Yeah,
Out, Charm. Those are that's a great move set. It's missing Snarl, which is
yeah,
unfortunate. If it had Snarl, it would be
yeah.
so much better, but it
It
doesn't.
would, yeah.
All right. So Marowak is to help with the Togetic and Blastoise electric weakness, and then
And
Blacephalon
anti-trick room.
is completing the Firewater Grass Core,
Hmm.
which Blacephalon was MVP of a league I was in. So I can't talk anything bad about it.
I've never seen Blacephalon do that well in VGC before.
Well, I've seen
Like I
it
remember
do
there
well
was
with
like
Solar Beam. That's all I've ever seen it do well with, and like maxing
like
it because it does do a lot of damage in Sun if you set Sun up,
it does.
obviously.
Yes.
That's
It's very strong.
151 special attack that just keeps going up.
Yep.
But it's so
It's kind
frail.
of like fire type Calyrex.
I think
Um
Kartana is a better, a nice
I
analogy as well. But
yeah.
I mean, it's like
Actually it is
that,
pretty much
except this just,
exactly Kartana.
well, this thing just dies to every attack instead of just special attacks.
Yeah.
But I think this is a really well balanced team with a very clear game plan.
Yeah, but I think it's very hard to prep for though. There's so many options that they have.
Yeah.
The
So
one thing I'll say though is Togetic is coming to pretty much every single match.
yeah, you're gonna rely on the meat shield.
Yeah.
So as far as the score, I think this is one of the better teams. I think that this team is extremely top heavy as well. I don't see where you would bring Blacephalon other than if your opponent is mono steel. So
And yeah. I'd give it a solid
like a nice 8.
8. Yeah.
It covers a lot of things it needs to.
hmm Oh, one thing I'll say though, dark types. What do they have against dark types?
Oh shoot. All right, we're going down to a 7.5. That's a good point. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah,
You
I
have
just now saw
Togetic
that.
to redirect, but you're gonna lose to Snarl.
Yeah, that's yeah, literally.
Actually,
And
you
then
get
note,
hard destroyed by Snarl. You're gonna lose
yeah, they
two
do seem
more
to be very
tenths of a
special.
point. Snarl is. I
Yeah,
mean,
Snarl's gonna go in.
Bisharp is there to counteract that, but they're not clicking Snarl when Bisharp is out.
I mean, or they could if they don't care about Bisharp, right?
Well,
Like if they have
yeah,
something like a Conkeldurr or something with Mach Punch, they're like they can
yeah.
click Snarl whenever they want, right?
And Snarl is one of the best moves in VGC, and people will bring it against this team 100%. So
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
only
they will
thing.
now if they
Well,
didn't
yeah,
realize it before.
people are watching this, taking notes. All right, bring Snarl and Dark types. I mean, do you have any
Um,
way to hit it? You have Dazzling Gleam Shaman
yeah,
and Draining Kiss
that's
Calyrex
about
Shadow,
it.
but Calyrex Shadow will die before then.
So yeah, you're welcome, St. Louis Battle of Haluchas. We just told everybody your greatest weakness.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just gonna make that a clean 7 now.
yeah,
It's the and Ghost too is a problem to
I
an
mean they have
extent.
Bisharp there still, and they have their own ghost types, which kind of like destroy their ghosts. But like still, if they're able to get Shadow Rex out of the way, then like that kind of destroys. So
Yeah, but I still think this team can make a deep run. It's got tools.
I
It can
yeah,
run people over, especially with Blastoise.
definitely.
All right, moving on. We have DJS and the Tentacruel Pirates.
And there's
And
that in DDF that the previous team really wants.
mm-hmm. And most notably, the last picked Mon on this team was Lunala.
That's
Because
interesting. It lasted so long.
well, you have to have a mythical and restricted, and I don't know if he knew that. So
Oh, yeah. It's interesting that it lasted so long though. Lunala is one of the better ones that doesn't that in a no max format. I feel like Lunala is pretty good. Um, so because like I feel like it's bulky enough and it has the stats, the offensive stats to actually do some stuff without needing to max. Stuff like Shadow Rex. Like a Shadow Rex isn't a good example because it doesn't need to max either. Some restrictions are pretty frail, so like they kind of like maxing, um, which makes them worse, or they need to max in order to do damage. Like I don't think Lunala is one of these. And kind of click on setup moves like Cosmic Power or whatever, similar to Lugia, um, which I feel like is pretty good. And they do have redirect. They have multiple redirection on here, so Lunala is kind of just going to sit there. Um,
wait, where's
so
this other redirector you're speaking
it's
of?
a Shiinotic, gets Rage Powder,
No, it
I'm
does
pretty sure.
not.
It doesn't? Never mind, they only have
No,
one redirection, but
Shiinotic would be used if that was the case.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
not,
like
but
Butterfree gets Rage Powder, and like nobody uses Butterfree, so.
right. And well, I've only seen Shiinotic used with skill swap to give it Prankster for Spore.
Oh, right.
But
That sounds really annoying.
let's just dive right into the mythical, which I think will be the biggest impact to this team, which is Diancie.
Yes.
Diancie is the reigning champion of the Platinum division of this league, which is the top
Oh, really?
division. Which is funny because this did not come to very many games.
Interesting.
But
You have-
I wish he brings this against me.
Yes, yes, do bring it and lead it against
Yes, and
Majerna.
don't lead anything else. Just let Magirna kill it, and we'll move on.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it'll be all
regardless,
good.
it's
It'll be all
extremely
good.
bulky. It's
It's
like a
like
better
150
carbink.
gold. It's, yeah, that's actually exactly what it is. It's just significantly better carving.
Yeah, it's like
With
carbink with
clear
more
body.
attack, and clear
Yeah.
body is a great ability too.
Hmm.
Can set its own trick room, and you have redirection to do that. Diamond Storm, signature move, can Dynamax,
And then you have that 30 speed Shiinotic and Trick Room with the Spore. So
and if you want
that.
to play out of trick room, Regieleki Cinderace.
Hmm.
I'm very confused by Cloyitzer. I don't see what this
I am
does.
as well.
Like Cloyitzer is good on like or not good, but like it's usable on terrain teams because like it gets the terrain pulse with Mega
Yeah, they do have
Launcher.
terrain, so like maybe that was
Oh, I
the
guess you have
reasoning
Indeedee.
for it.
I'm blind,
Yeah.
so I guess you can do that. Never mind. You could also like self Aquajet your Diancie.
Weakest policy Diancie.
It could happen.
Yeah, it
This
could.
this team's got one of the best mons for cheap. I think 11's too cheap for Scrafty.
I agree. Yeah, Scrafty is. I think intimidating ones with it's fake out, right?
Yep, Intimidate, Fake Out,
Yeah.
Snarl,
Yeah, that's
which is like
very good. That's just budget instant roar. It's like,
yeah, if fairy typing wasn't in this game, Scrafty would be taking over. But since
yeah,
fairy type is a thing, Scrafty is like balanced. Its
yeah.
stats are too good, and most of the time people run AV on this thing anyway, so you really can't touch it because you get intimidated and it's got to solve best anyway.
Mhm.
You can
Yeah.
do life orb stuff with it if you want to. Like, there's so many things you can do with Scrafty. It's just
Maybe it's
good.
Moxie as well. You can max it. Does it get wait? Does it get like air lace or anything?
I don't know if it gets max airstream. I don't think so.
Let
But
me
its
look.
58 speed isn't that fast, so you can do stuff with that there.
It gets Dragon Dance. You don't
Oh,
need a
I've
max
used that
airstream.
before. So you can like go Indeedee, Scrafty, and just Dragon Dance your way to victory.
Oh yeah. And then you can just click Drain Punch or whatever, and then you'll never
Mm-hmm.
die.
The Scavalier is a good trick room one. Runerigus is another way to set up trick room.
Scavalier is actually really good. Like,
Yeah. Other than its clear weakness, it's got really good attack and really low speed.
yeah.
And then Cinderace, which I gotta say I'm a big fan of.
I think Cinderace is pretty good on this team, not gonna lie.
I think Cinderace is just
Um,
really good in general.
yeah.
It's a fire type, it's a flying type, it's a steel type, it's a bug type,
Hmm.
dark type, fighting type.
My main problem with it though is literally one attack drop and then it's not really doing anything. Like it's 116 attack, so if you drop its
Yeah.
attacks up by one, like you
So
don't do
you
anything with it.
have an intimidate problem there, and actually there could be an intimidate problem across the board here. Cause like I guess you can go with Lunala, but it can't max.
And
So
you have
dang,
Reggie Lucky.
yeah,
Max Reggie Lucky was very good.
it still is really good.
Yeah.
And Gilecki I think is way better in draft because a lot of the time you're not gonna run max speed.
Hmm.
Like on ladder, if you're gonna run
You
Regieleki, you run max speed so that you.
well, you run modest, but
I
max
run
speed doesn't as
timid
common
because I
anymore.
want to outspeed things in tail like that are in tailwind.
Yeah, I did too.
But in draft, it's
But
so
yeah,
much better. You get to run so much more
yeah,
bulk in
because you
Regieleki.
just yeah you just speed creep and then you pour the rest into like offense or whatever.
Yeah, and then just throw like into HP or into defense, whatever you want.
Hmm.
It doesn't get a lot of good moves, but it gets screens and
It
Electro
does,
Web,
yeah.
which is like how it can support. It also Eerie Impulse and Screech.
Yes, those are
So,
very good. Also, Electro Ball is actually, I feel like it's very good against the right teams. Against teams that have very heavy trigger modes, you can just click Electro Ball and it kind of just destroys everything. Like
hmm
it's so strong against trigger mons.
yeah, so I think this team is, again, it's well supported. I don't know how much we're gonna see Shiinotic, Clydes, or Runner, I guess, for that matter. So maybe we're playing with
Yeah.
7 Mons here,
Hmm.
but I still think it's a good 7.
Yeah.
Like there's not much else to say. It's like you have a good core Mons. Now use them.
Yeah.
So I think as far as a rating, I think 7.1. I think it's just above that other team.
Yeah. It's not like outstanding on anything, but it's also not terrible at really anything. So
No, and its typings don't actually seem that bad either.
yeah, it's weak to like it's
Ground and
ground
water,
and water. But even then the water weakness is not that bad.
and the ground
And then
weakness
like
is
one of
the
them is
ground weakness is
Cinderace.
still
Yeah,
significant.
yeah, one of them is those are both one of them have for Cinderace, right? And that can change its type, so it's not
Mhm.
always going to be weak.
Yeah.
So
You have no flying type though, so you have no like ground immunity.
hmm.
Like also, like yes, Cinderace can turn into a flying
Yeah,
type, but the only thing you can
and
switch into a
they do
ground
have
move is
several ground
Shiinotic,
weaknesses.
and you don't want to bring Shiinotic ever.
Yeah, yeah. So that is that is an issue.
Um, but other than that, I think DGS can definitely use this team. So I think
Yes.
7.1 is accurate there.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have the Sacramento Score
Sacramento
Bunny,
score.
and we see the big threat in every restricted league.
I'm seeing multiple big threats here.
Okay, well I'm looking at the big whale, the one that clicks one move in rain
Yes,
with 150 special attack with a 150 base power move that hits both opponents.
balanced.
Unfortunately,
Um,
though, there's no speed control for it.
yeah, well, they can run Trick Room. Kyogre.
Well, or you can do
I
max
ran that in
airstream
season eight.
Dragapult, but
Yeah, they could do that as well. So the thing with this team is, it pretty much has two options. But those two options are very well, three, I guess. But those options are very, very dominant. I'm like, they're very good. So you have your Trick Room, you have Kyogre, or you have Rain, and then you have Beat Up with Cobalion, and that's literally it. That's what this team does. Like, oh, what could be dangerous though is setting Trick Room and then have a Oranguru with Kyogre, and then having a Oranguru instruct Kyogre's
so I've
water
seen
spout.
somebody in the lowest division of one of the leagues I've played in. They used room service Kyogre,
Oh
which I
no!
thought was really funny, and it actually was actually
Wait, I need
really
to try
good.
that on ladder now.
Or
Wait,
like,
wait, wait, wait. I wonder what can live two max geysers in a row. I mean, sorry, not max geysers. Water spouts in a row.
Gastrodon?
Okay, well, Gastrodon. But what else? What else?
Maybe Ludicolo?
Yeah, but they have Ludicolo, so like they don't have no one else has
Oh, you
Ludicolo.
mean somebody
So like,
else?
what? Yeah, yeah.
What four
When you
times
think about it, though, like,
resists water?
what is someone gonna have to beat?
This should KO resisted stuff.
Yeah,
And maybe
it will
Rillaboom
kick.
can. Well, Rillaboom is still the issue, but
You'd have to run it. You'd have to if Rillaboom doesn't Grassy Glide, then they'd have to be AV to live that, I'm pretty sure. AV like
well, but
bulky.
Rillaboom's 100% running Grassy Glide,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you're not playing Kyogre against Rillaboom.
Yeah. Unless you somehow get rid of terrain.
Yeah,
But
you max
yeah.
Psychic with Reuniclus.
Guess priority Gastro Acid. Oh, they don't have that though. That would be funny.
That would be hilarious. Alright, but we
Yeah.
need to speak of my boy Melmetal. I filled in last season for this league and I got blessed with Melmetal. And this thing hits
Melmetal
hard.
actually yeah, that
It's
thing
so
and then it
fun.
flinches you.
It's
And then it flinches you.
yeah.
So
Getting this thing in Trick Room is and double iron bashing things is fun. Also
yeah.
getting to max it. and then using
This
max
team.
steel spike or max quake. I had this with a Dusclops, so I made Dusclops insanely bulky.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like this team, like, it sets up Trick Room and then it wins. Like, they have probably one of the best Trick Room
if you prepare for Trick Room,
modes.
you lose to Dragapult.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
Dragapult max airstreams with Kyogre, you take a water spout and die.
And then if you prep for those two, they still have beat up with Cobalion. So,
Yeah, and then Ludicolo is faster than everything and has fake out.
yeah.
Oh, and then there's a Tangela for some redirection.
Oh, I didn't see that. Umbreon's also super good. That thing doesn't die ever.
No. It
So,
is like it has Moonlight, which doesn't work with rain,
yeah, that's the
unfortunately,
main thing.
but that's a price you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at our first like super high rated team.
Yeah, I'd give this like a 9, honestly. Like
I
this
think
is this is
nine.
very
If
good.
if we go by the standard where no team is perfect, nine is the highest we'll go.
Maybe even 9.5,
I mean,
but yeah, I think
I'd be down to agree with you.
9.5
I think
is.
this is the best team in the league. At least what we've
Oh, we
seen so
haven't
far.
covered all of them
I
yet.
haven't seen the other teams. I just mindlessly typed them into this doc while I was doing other things. But at least
Yeah, this team is
if I would
insane.
take over and this team is what I had, I'd be confident winning the league.
Yeah, yeah,
I think you probably feel the same way. You're like,
yeah. This team is pretty broken.
yeah. So
I
it's
don't
up
know
to
how someone
Dicey to
got.
not mess this up. He has
So I
everything he
don't know.
needs.
So first of all, so the first three picks, I do not know how you get those in succession,
Well, it's easy.
especially with
You
like.
have an idiot drafting mono steel. You have an idiot drafting mono fighting, and then you have people not picking Kyogre first because this is pick number what? One, two, three, four, five, six.
It's
This
like
is pick
8,
seven.
7. That's like the worst spot.
Yeah,
It's one of the
and he
worst
got
spots of that
seventh
draft, and
pick
they
with
have.
Kyogre.
And then that means they also got seventh pick, round 3, Dragapult,
Yeah, so Dicey
and
is
then
sitting pretty.
yeah,
I think
yeah. I don't know
we've
how they
said
got
enough.
these.
I mean, this
It's
type chart looks really bad, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah, they're able to cover for most of these things. So
Yeah.
uh, it's like ground. They have a ground weakness. Well, they don't care. They have a Kyogre.
Yeah, I'm weak with Melmetal, Cobalion, and Torracat. Oh no.
And a fighting weakness. Well, they have Dragapult, Reuniclus, and a Rangaroo with Torcat for Intimidate.
Dragapult
So
also gets water coverage, so you can just max Geyser with this
it
thing in rain.
does. You can run special. Yeah.
Oh, and then you can have support Dragapult too.
Hmm.
Actually, I need your opinion here. Do you think Dragapult is the best Draftmon?
Um.
I believe it is, for
So
a
in
lot
this
of
league
reasons.
specifically, I'm not totally sure about this league
Okay, so like
specifically
a
because
Series 9
mythicals.
draft league.
Yeah, so in something like Gaddle or WBG, I think yes, it definitely is the best. The one thing I'll say though is because it's the best, it doesn't always perform as well because everybody preps super hard for it. I think Rillaboom is low key the best, but Dragapult is high key the best. That's my opinion.
I could see that perspective. I just have personally using Dragapult, using physical, special, and then the variety of support moves it has. I
Yeah.
finished second in my first draft league I played with Dragapult.
Yeah, I have a friend who got Colossal Dragapult
That's what I
on their
had.
team. Oh.
That's why I say
Yeah.
like the Colossal
Yeah.
Dragapult thing. I don't think this team needs
Yeah.
Colossal though. I think it just
It
needs
doesn't.
it
Will also
needs
actually be
to
pretty bad
not
on
get
this, actually.
unlucky. That's what it needs.
Hmm. Yeah,
All
that's about
right,
it.
we're done raving about this team. Dicey, don't screw this up.
Yeah, don't. If yeah,
All right.
if you don't make playoffs.
Yeah, if you don't make playoffs, then we're coming after you.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Lumeris and the
Yes, maybe
Sturdy
one.
Shedinjas, and I think my personal favorite restricted from using it previous season I also finished second in Necrozma Duskmane. I
Necrozma,
love Necrozma Duskmane
I
so
feel like
much.
in draft it's very good.
I
It's
hit
very good in draft.
39 kills with this thing. But you know what the important impressive part is? I ran special Necrozma probably
Special.
4 or 5 weeks out of the 11 total weeks I played since I played into the finals.
This, yeah, because I feel like special is actually not bad because like it doesn't like being intimidated because
Or
it doesn't
burned.
have
You
the
know how
clear
many
draw. Yeah,
times
or burn.
people burned this thing and I was special?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because you do not want to let that thing get away with
Now you can't
clicking.
Dynamax it in this league, and that's what's gonna hurt it a
That's
lot.
true.
But
Yeah, it does like setting up Trick Room though.
right, it sets up Trick Room, Swords Dance. I even did a Calm Mind Stored Power for a meme week because I thought it'd be funny. I had
So
Morning Sun on it also to heal.
so the thing with this team though is that they can run physical quite effectively because they have a Defiant user,
hmm
Thunderous. So you
Which
don't want to
I
be.
think if we go back to the Dragon Bolt discussion, Thunderous is also on my list of like top 5 draft mons.
It is. Prankster is insane. Like it is so good, and then you can just randomly run Defiant,
Yeah.
and then they'll throw people for a loop, right?
And if you look at its
So
stats, it's got
yeah, it's
special
very
or
good.
physical.
Yeah, you can run either. Like
Gets
it's
Electroweb, Taunt.
it gets it
My
gets
favorite
Rain
move,
Dance.
Eerie Impulse, is my favorite move
Fury Impulse is very good on it. Yeah,
because it's
I like
annoying.
running Swagger plus Garchomp, like Lum Garchomp.
I've
It's
seen people
so
do it
good.
with own tempo mons, but yes, that does way
It's
too much
very
damage.
good.
And
Yeah.
Arcanine is another really solid pick with Intimidate. I don't see
hmm
a beat up user. Oh yeah, I do Mew.
Oh right, yes, Mew.
But
You can
Arcanine
do whatever
is
you want.
the. I had a great nickname for this too. It was the Fun Police because it takes
Yeah,
away
it
your
is.
fun.
It does.
So does Grimmsnarl in a way, but
Yeah, Grimmsnarl just kind of makes the game not fun to play unless you go
mm,
for a very strong steel type.
yeah. Although, what are your thoughts on Mew? It's very consistent. 100.
The thing with Mew is you can't really prep for it because it can do literally anything. It's pretty bulky. It's decent. It's pretty bulky because it's base 100 across everything.
Yeah.
Its typing is not that good. I mean, in
No.
draft, it's not as bad because there's not as many like dark types and stuff. But um, I think it's good. It's definitely not the best. I wouldn't even call it top five probably.
No, I don't think it's the
But
top 5 mythicals, but just the fact that it's a Swiss Army knife in a sense
yeah,
can help out a lot.
yeah. One thing I'll say is Necrozma Thwacky Garchomp does not work.
Probably not. I just think Thwacky struggles in a restricted mythical format because it doesn't do a
Yeah.
whole lot.
It's like, what is it doing on this team?
It's
Like,
grassy gliding, killing Kyogre. It's gonna come one week solely to do that, and I'm being
Swords
serious. That's
Dance
all it's
Sash
gonna do.
Thwacky.
No, grassy glide kills with like Life Orb or something. I don't remember the calc, but
Are you sure? Seriously?
somebody told me
Because
it killed.
Rillaboom, I don't think
No, Rillaboom always kills.
they'd have to be timid. Like, if they're running modest, max HP does not kill. Even
I'll have
Morb,
to
I'm
do
pretty
that
sure.
calc later, but I think somebody told me it killed.
Interesting.
But
That would
either
be funny.
way,
They could just
uh,
run Sash Sword Dance.
as far as
That'll kill
Dynamax options
it.
on this team,
They have Garchomp, Arcanine, Thundurus. I guess you can do Grimmsnarl, kind of.
which people should do that, they don't, but they should. Like
Yeah, everyone just runs
Grimmsnarl has
support.
120 attack.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like people do not
It
expect
has
max
more
Grimmsnarl,
attack
and
than Thunderous,
its max move is so good.
but it's counterintuitive or counter interactive with Max Fairy, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, that is the max. Oh wait, no, it's
No,
not. You're
it's on
right.
Dark, so it's
Yeah.
really weird. and
Yeah,
awkward.
that shows you how much I've used
Does Mew
GMX
get Bullet
Grimmsnarl.
Punch? No, Hitmonchan does. So you can do Weakness Policy,
Me
Pickpocket, Grimmsnarl.
doesn't. Oh, you're right. Yeah,
So
that could
like
be funny.
you can what Pickpocket is whenever somebody hits you, if you have no item, you take it. And so how the interaction works is Bullet Punch triggers Weakness Policy, and then Pickpocket works.
Of course it does.
So I hope Lumaris does this.
Yes. Make sure everyone to prep for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Make sure you got your prankster Willow. Oh, yes. Yes. Make sure you use prankster Will-O-Wisp against Grimmsnarl, guys.
Yeah, use
It'll definitely
Prankster
work, I
Will-O-Wisp.
promise. Bring
So
your Will-O-Wisp
other than that,
Sableye.
so like we joke about it, I think that's the main weakness of this team. You have not that many Dynamax options.
Yeah, they need a they need mystery terrain, honestly. Something like Tapu Fini. I think Fini over Grimmsnarl can actually be very good. Or maybe Fini
Uh,
over Suicune or something. Like Suicune has
Suicune
like
sets.
Tailwind.
Well, yeah, so does Mew, but
Yeah, and Thundurus has its own
maybe we're slow playing this
speed
team.
control.
Maybe we're playing it slow with like the Grimmsnarl screens and Suicune being bulky,
Hmm.
playing it that way.
Yeah,
And since you can't
it does
match
seem like it
Necrozma
could be.
anyway, you might as well play it bulkier.
Yeah. Hmm.
The speed
And then
stats are
especially in
really bad
physically.
too.
Hmm?
The speed stats aren't that great either. It's not even good for
Yeah,
Trick
the
Room.
highest. Yes, it is good for Trick Room. Well, not even that. Their lowest speed is 60.
Yeah.
This is entirely like mid speed Mons, and then like Thunderous. So, so I think it's a decent team. Like it needs some work, but like it's not bad.
Yeah, I think it's only like maybe slightly better than mine because at least it covers its typings a little better. I mean,
Give it a good like.
you have an ice weakness I see because like you have Thundurus and Garchomp, and I guess Necrozma and Arcanine can help with that, but it's still something
Yeah,
that's
and they
worth
have
considering.
Ghost and Dark as well.
Oh, right, because oh, that's a big issue. Maybe this team is
Yeah.
on par with mine then.
No, I don't think so. It's pretty hard to get worse than Mono Steel.
Just cry. All
Mono
right.
Fighting Clay.
Yeah, I think. Oh well, we didn't get there. They're next, but I think five is
uh,
reasonable, just middle of the
5,
road.
5.5 maybe. Yeah, something
5.5
around
is
there.
reasonable. I just don't see this team putting up enough offense, and like they're gonna be forcing the offense a lot of the time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right.
The
Next up, we
next
have
one,
the best
the
team
Mono
drafted.
Fighting, the Mono Weak to Fairy,
I'm
and also
sorry.
Blaziken.
I'm sorry. Underused Apple, but I think this is where I think two is.
Look at that type chart. Look at all the
Oh
psychic
Lord.
weaknesses and the fairy weaknesses. I mean, not fairy. Flying. Fairy. Oh yeah, fairy as well.
Okay,
Yeah, this is
so now I like how it counts 10 fighting types. That's pretty funny. He committed, and that's what's perfect. I hope me and him play each other because it's
that
gonna
would
be
be funny.
funny. Like that's
You'd
gonna be.
lose. It would be funny unless you
I
win
don't
weakness.
usually like record or stream my matches, but I would probably do that if we played each other.
Run weakness policy bronze song with a psychic stab, and you pretty much win.
God.
What do they
Which
do against that?
actually, now that you say that, I don't remember if we didn't say Urshifu single strike, did we?
I haven't seen one
No.
yet. No, they
Now
have
there's
rapid
somebody.
strike.
Yeah, they have rapid
Wait,
strike.
why didn't they get single strike?
I
Single
don't
strike
know.
would have been good here.
I guess they wanted the water coverage, which makes some sense.
I
Oh
mean, that
yeah, they
makes
have
sense. Yeah,
Pangoro. They have the dark.
yeah, they do have Pangoro. Like,
All right.
single strike's kind of
Anyway,
good.
so Marshadow is a nice little vermin that ruins fun.
Yes,
Cause
steals your fun actually.
yeah, I faced one. I had weakness policy Clefable because I wanted to have fun, and then I
Whoops.
forgot that that is what it did. Crap.
Yeah. Whoops.
Zamazenta not crowned, which I think is a mistake. I don't know.
I don't see why I would run Zamazenta without it being crowned.
I
Like,
mean, what does it gain? Doesn't it gain like defense? I don't remember what crown gained over
well, let
regular.
me see. Okay, so Zamazenta Crowned has 30 better defense, 30 better special defense. It's 10 points fast. Oh,
Okay.
it's slower. It's
Yeah, it's
slower.
slower but bulkier. So this is faster but
Yeah.
more a little more frail, although 115 and a defense boost
As
isn't frail.
yeah.
Unfortunately, though, you look at Zamazenta and you're like, this could have been so much better
Yeah.
compared to Zacian. However, it's fast. It gets screens. I think it gets screens. Yeah, it does. Coaching.
Yes.
So
How
yeah, so like you can use it as a support restricted for Marshadow, which
I guess. Yes.
we're thinking here. But I feel like that's what a lot of this team is. It's like coach and then
Just kind
go.
of yeah. And then maybe you have something blow up and pass Semi and take the ability if it's good enough.
Yeah, but Passimia has Defiance, so you don't care as much about Intimidate. Speed Boost,
Yeah.
Blaziken. Pheromosa can speed swap Pangoro.
Oh, this team is entirely physical.
It is. Well, Lucario can be special.
If you on the average, yeah, if you look at the average stats, it's
Oh, that's
123 for
disgusting.
for attack, and then 89 for special
That is
attack,
disgusting. I've never seen it that
and
high. I've looked at so many
and then
of
it's
these.
the speed is average 101.
That's actually pretty good.
That is pretty good. The problem is they lose to Trick Room very, very, very badly.
Well, that's why
They
you
don't really
use
have a good
Pheromosa to
way of.
speed swap with their Trick Room on, and then
That's true.
or you
And
taunt
then you
it.
give your own team,
I like
and then you give
Pheromosa a
your
lot.
and then you give your Marshadow your very low speed. Yeah, Pheromones is very cool.
Unfortunately, a lot of these mons want to run Focus Sash.
Yeah,
Marshadow, Urshifu, Pheromosa, Mean Shao, Toxicroak all want to run Focus Sash.
yeah.
I'm happy he committed though, because I'm not the only one with a bad team. But
So looking at the score, I think two is pretty
I
fair.
started it at a 2. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Apple, but
yeah,
I don't know what else to say. I hope he does well. I'm rooting for him every week.
yes.
He's gonna be my buddy.
Please win.
Yes,
Please win.
every week. But for now, it's time we move on to this team. All right, we can skip this team. Next one.
And all right.
Nah. I'll let you rave about your team.
All right, so this is my team. I originally wanted, oh, what was it? It was like Calyrex Ice and Jirachi. That's what I wanted at first, and then I got sniped right before it was my turn, so that was fun.
Should have
So yeah, I
drafted a
got
mono
Xerneas and
type team.
Volcanion. Um, Xerneas Volcanion is actually like defensively and offensively is a super good core because it hits like literally it hits almost everything. Like what does Volcanion and Xerneas not resist and what does it not hit? Like not that much. So and then I also have redirection with Amoonguss, and that helps with the Xerneas setting up. Maybe Kartana with a Sword Stance or something, and then Cofferbeak with the Trick Room. And then Gudra is just super bulky. Um, and yeah, I just needed something that was really bulky and physical because I was leaning towards the special side. So got Gudra and then Corviknight, same deal. It's also pretty bulky as well and gets good support and it can also run offense. Coffergugus, I feel like is super underrated, mostly because of two things: Mummy, which is broken, and then Crafty Shield, which is also broken. Because you can't taunt anything if you have Crafty Shield, and you can't boil this anything, and you can't like it's so good. And then I have Diggersby with the huge power for Trick Room, and that kind of destroys everything because it's very
Yeah.
very strong. Luxio's a broken low tier support mon. Prove me wrong.
I mean, I'm ready
It
for you to
gets
prove me right. I've never seen Luxio used.
so it gets Eerie Impulse, Snarl, Baby Doll Eyes, Intimidate
Fast is it?
obviously.
base
Um,
60 is kinda.
well, yeah, it's not very fast, but for like the amount, it was I think it was 1 point.
Yeah, it's
So
really cheap.
the amount of
So
stuff it for the stuff it gets, let me
it
see
is
this.
intimidate. So I can see it.
Yeah,
EVLite makes everything insane. And I
yeah. So
stopped
let's
you at
see.
the appropriate time because how did you get Sableye last pick?
That's a good question. I was
Do
like,
people not
I
know
need
what
a
this
little
thing
bit.
does?
I guess not. I was like, I need a dark type. I think that's what I was looking for. Yeah, it was like a dark and a ghost that I needed. Or no, I already have a ghost. It's like a dark type, and then like I was like, oh, some more support or trigger and stuff could be good. And I was like, oh, well, Sableye's still there.
Well, people
Um,
don't know that you can use Sunny Day or Rain Dance to make
yes,
Volcanion do more damage.
yes,
Also,
yeah,
Quash, Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Fake
mm-hmm,
Out.
yeah. It's very good. It's so good.
And it's actually not like terrible stat wise. Like
Yeah, if you
its
look at it, it
typing
has
is really
let's see.
good because you can't hit it super effectively other than Fairy, making
Mm-hmm.
it almost like really hard to kill for some reason.
And I have a Cortana to Mogus, so and a Corviknight, so like I don't really give a crap about fairies. So
Yeah. So however you got that, that beats me. Uh, but yeah, I think your main max on this team will most likely be Volcanion or Kartana. I just feel like
well,
those will be
Gudra,
your
Corviknight, and Diggersby as
Gudra
well.
doesn't do enough damage in my experience, and Corviknight
Mm,
is like as long as you run regular Corviknight, don't run
yes,
G-Max.
I'm never going to be running Gmax.
Why?
If I get a
Which one
bulk
was
up,
it? Was it is it steel or flying? I forget.
it's flying, which makes it
Oh,
even
that's so
worse.
bad. Well, even if it's steel,
It's
max
really
steel
bad.
spike is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Um,
So
Diggersby
def
is good in Trick Room for the maxing. Um, so also, how is oh, never mind. It's 78 speed. It's not that good in Trick Room.
no, it's like mid tier. Which if you compare it
Yeah.
with something with max airstream like Kartana or Corviknight, well, I guess Corviknight's not that fast, but Kartana is. You got yourself there. And actually, that's my. Well, you can pair it with Sableye too, but the only thing I see is you can't set Tailwind that well easily, other than with Corviknight.
Well, Cortana gets Tailwind. Then
Oh, it
I can
doesn't.
pair
It
it with
doesn't get it this
Amoonguss.
gen.
Huh?
It doesn't get Tailwind this gen, I don't think.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't. Never mind. Played too much Cortana in Gen 7.
Yeah, a lot of Mons
But
lost
yeah.
Tailwind. Even though this graphic says it, this graphic is out of date.
Okay. Um,
Well, it's not out of date. It's just I no, they didn't
yeah.
change it specifically for that.
Yeah. So, how about I'm not going to grade myself because I would probably be biased. So, what do you think that my
I
team
think that you
deserves?
should bring Xerneas and not Volcanion against me.
Okay, that sounds fair.
All right, and
And I won't
yeah,
bring Diggersby
I'm
or
a big like I don't like Amoonguss that much. I'll tell you why.
I,
Safety goggles is like an item that will be coming 100% of the time against you. And when you
yeah,
find out
until
what Mon
you
has safety goggles, it'll be too late because your
yeah,
Xerneas is gonna die.
but I do have a few knockoff mons, and also you guys are not going to be expecting the weakness policy of this that
Oh
maxes.
God.
So be prepared to lose to that, by the way.
Okay, I'll make sure to activate it with my steel types.
Yeah,
But I think my
yeah,
biggest issue is since Xerneas can't max, you're gonna be locked into maxing Volcanion or Kartana. I feel like Gudra and Corviknight don't do enough damage, and Diggersby is gonna be really hard to position for that Dynamax. But
yeah.
you do have Sableye, which is a stupid good support mon. You have a Firewater grass. You have a Firewater grass core with two mons. So
Yeah,
like that's a thing.
yeah, I do.
Actually, yeah, that's a good core. I was just trying to like
Yeah,
see
it
how that
is.
worked together, but yeah, that works out great. I guess
Yeah,
looking
it
at your
does.
type chart, you have slight weaknesses. I guess the slight fire weakness is very apparent, but you do have a 4 times resist with Volcanion, and then
Yeah,
Goodra if it's like a heat wave, Goodra takes that like a lot.
very well. Yeah. Gujar doesn't take any damage
I
from
just feel
any
like
special
with
move ever.
it's just the limited max mons for me. That's the only thing I see is like the big glaring issue, and also not a dedicatedly like good trick room sweeper. Because like you have Cofagrigus with trick room, but like
Yeah.
you have
Okay,
nothing
so
for that.
I picked Diggersby and I was like, oh, Diggersby is a good trick room
Oh, and then
sweeper, and then
you
I
saw
didn't
that.
realize he was 78 speed.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
yeah,
where are
because I
their
was like, because
teams?
late draft, I was like, oh, I need a
I'm
trick
down to
room
give you no cap 6.9.
6.9.
I
That
think
would be pretty good.
6.9
I
is a
like I like that is a
nice
pretty
number
good
there.
number. It is a pretty nice number. Let's just go with that.
Yeah. But
Well, okay,
you did draft a really
maybe
good team, so I'll give you the credit for
yes.
that. But
I'll just use
you,
Moongus and trick room and click Spore. That's all I need, right?
yeah, should have drafted Mono Grass. All
Uh,
right, next team. We have the Boston Blastoise, coached by Senpak, and here is one of the best restricteds in this format, Eternatus.
and they got Eternatus Jirachi, so be prepared for Cosmic Power Spam with Follow Me.
Oh, screw
Um,
that. I want Eternatus to click Meteor Beam.
Meteor Beam. Just run that with it. You can run both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jirachi's a
Well,
mono.
actually, Jirachi, I mean, Eternatus really only has one set. It's like Cosmic Power, and then occasionally run
No,
like
you don't do
Meteor Beam.
Cosmic
Like, what else does
Power.
it
You do
do?
full offense Meteor Beam. That's a 145 base special attack on a 130 speed mon.
Yeah, that's
Tell me
fair.
why you're not clicking a move that raises your special attack or carrying a life orb.
Uh, because they don't have grassy terrain. If they had grassy terrain, I'd say that it would be more advantageous to run a bulky set, like a defensive set.
I've always
But they don't
learned
have it.
click buttons win games.
Yeah, that's fair. Depends on their playstyle, I guess.
And also you have pseudo prankster Tailwind and Talonflame. You have max
Yeah,
airstream with the Landers and Intimidate support. You have Persian Alola, which we talked about with Persian, except this is just the better version. Terrakion is a nice partner for that. Firewater Grass Core engaged with Rotom-Mow and Jellicent. And then Alcremie, which is weakness policy for other mons that you can click over and over again.
yeah. Um, One thing I'll say is they don't really have like me. They have Jellicent and then they don't have an abuser or Trick Room.
Yeah,
So
go throw.
yeah, but it's throw even count. Like look at its
Well,
stats.
if you want to throw the game, then go for it.
Honestly, yeah.
Hey, it's guts, and that's 100
Oh, we'll get its
attack.
guts. So I guess it's not terrible.
So when I get swept by a throw,
Yeah.
so as far as
Um,
Dynamaxes on this team, Jirachi, Landorus, Rotom-Mow, Terrakion.
yeah. And they've beat up with Persian.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Eternatus, which can do a lot of damage and clean up if need be.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is type chart wise, they have quite a few weaknesses that are not great. Ghost, Fairy, Psychic, and Ice.
I think Ice is the
So,
one I'm most concerned with because you only have Jirachi that can reliably take the Ice type attacks. At least
mhm.
how I see it.
Well, Interaction, I guess,
Well,
because like
Terrakion is not that
it's
bulky,
not it's not bulky enough though. So
even though it has 91, 90, 90.
yeah,
Not bulky enough. Eternatus has more bulk than Terrakion,
yeah,
which is really weird, but I always
it
thought
is.
Eternatus wasn't that bulky, but it actually has decent bulk.
It's insane. The bulk is
The
crazy.
HP stats are ridiculous.
I know. It's like better drift bloom that kills things.
Yeah.
That's exactly, yeah. That is pretty much what it is.
So I think
So,
that this team's got every piece you need for a team. I just think that a lot of those pieces are worse than some of the average pieces for cores.
and then also no trick room abuser.
Yeah.
So,
But like it's got a Firewater Grass core. It's got
yeah.
Mons that want a Dynamax. It's got Tailwind. And
I'd give it like a 6.5, give or
I think
take.
6.5. It's a solid team,
Yeah.
and that's about all we can say about it.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna rely on Jirachi for. Well, I guess you have lots of different max options, and then Eternatus, which will be the main game
Yeah.
plan. You'll outspeed
And then you
everything with
can,
Tailwind because you have
yeah.
great speed throughout. You're
Yeah.
never bringing Throw unless you want to surprise people. You go Jellicent plus that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The next
Next,
one is the Dope
this is a
Dittos.
scary team.
Oh wow, that's
No, I
I don't
think
like this.
what's the funniest thing is what did he do? Did he
It's
six?
Stom.
He's sixth. Wait, did he sixth or seventh pick this? Seventh pick
That's
Snom.
7. 7 big
Jesus,
Snom. They pick Snom before
that's
Hitmontop,
so
a Siglif,
funny.
and a Rhydon.
All right,
Okay,
so
about Rhydon. So in the draft league that I run, GADL, in the lower division, Rhydon is the kill leader, and it has like 20 plus kills. Like it's
hmm,
it kind of clicks buttons and wins games. I
yeah,
don't know
the
why.
issue I see immediately with it though is Dusclops is your Eviolite user, so you're not running it right on with Eviolite.
Yeah.
That's the
Wait, it has
only
a
thing I
133
see.
attack. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that's insane. It's like you can do Life Orb with
They're
it. It
gonna
has
be
really good bulk too, other than
they're gonna
special.
be running weakness policy right on
You can do
with
that too.
bulldoze Dusclops. Oh wait, that's actually pretty good.
Well, why would you do it with Rhydon when you can do it with Glastrier?
Well, you can, but what if they have a fire type that
Max
is low or
Quake.
something? No, yeah, I guess.
It's
Um,
just weird seeing Sun and Glastrier. I don't know
Centiskorch.
why. It just
It,
doesn't feel right.
it, I don't know. I like Glacier.
Well, but
It's
like
tricky to
Sun and
get.
Glastrier is just weird. I've
Oh,
seen
Sun and
so many people
Glacier. Yeah,
do it.
that is. Yeah, but they got Groudon and Venusaur and Venu Cole and Vito Dawn. It's no skill. The same with the Ally Switch.
Yeah.
Um, that's a joke, by the way. Please don't take that seriously.
It's pretty funny.
Um,
They have no fire type.
oh yeah, I just noticed that. They have no fire type. They have sun, and then they have
That's
nothing
oh
else
my
that uses sun.
god. What are you doing?
I mean, I don't like sun. I run sun room with Regirock. It's actually very good.
Yeah. But like just no fire type to abuse the sun is kind of weird. I mean, Venusaur gets Weather Ball, but about
Yeah.
it. Now,
Eruption Groudon.
question: how afraid of Darkrai should we be?
Well, Dusclops gets gravity, so
Oh
very
god,
afraid.
how slow is this thing? Oh, it's not slow at all. It's 125 speed. I don't
Yeah,
even know
it's
what it
one.
does.
Yeah, it's
It
very
can max
fast.
though, which is scary.
Yeah.
Venusaur gets
So
Sweet Scent.
watch out for the protect Darkrai and Gravity Dusclops. Because that's when you know you're about to lose. So
No
bring
fun allowed.
your Prankster Worry Seed and your Insomnia Mons against this team. This is like sleep span now that I know and think
You
about it.
can't
This
even
is
taunt the
Venusaur and Darkrai.
Darkrai. That's the like the
Yeah.
prankster taunted. You can't do that. What mon with taunt is
Mm,
faster than Darkrai?
um, Spectrier?
Okay, one.
Yeah, Spectrier. That's about it.
And Spectre takes a max darkness how?
Colberberry?
Very
That's about
carefully.
it. Very carefully, yeah.
uh I mean, I think the only thing holding this team together is the Snom. I don't see
Yeah,
any
honestly.
reason like why any team should like play against this team when you'll just lose to Snom. Look at his stats. 30,
It's
25,
too good.
35, 45, 30, 20. His base stat total of 185, which is
It's
not that far off from Darkrai 600.
yeah,
This team's got
it's pretty
10.
good.
This team has 102 average defense for having a Snom. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty impressive.
okay. Tapu Fini, Hitmontop, and Sun plus Trick Room Setter. I think we got another 9 pointer, if not 8.9.
I'd give it like 8.7,
Okay. We'll go with
mostly
8.8,
because
right in the middle.
the ground on the Venusaur is really holding the team back.
Yeah, you're setting up Sun so that your opponents can kill Snom, which is unfortunate. Actually, that reminds me. Did you see the thing with the damage overflow?
Oh, I think I did. It was like the shuckle with the power
No, no,
trick.
it was against the Snom. They used a Charizard and Sun that was like boosted all the
Oh yeah,
way,
yeah,
and like they got it so that it did so
yeah.
much damage it rolled over and did like one.
Yeah.
It was insane. I gotta watch that video again. But
I think I started watching it and then like it took forever to start the video, so I just stopped. But
that was beautiful.
yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right,
Yeah, I've done
yeah.
some
This team's
other
good.
gimmicks like that, like the Reggie Lucky that outspeeds stuff in Trick Room because the speed overflows.
Yeah, actually, I want to cut some back. Looking at these typings, there's a lot of holes.
Notice how they're not Rock Weak. I just want to point that out.
I mean, they have one rock weakness, two.
They have th oh they only have, no they have three Rock
Wait,
weaknesses.
blind glacier. Oh, snob.
Yeah.
I just like forgot it was a Pokemon.
Yeah. It's not even a Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's like better than restricted.
yeah.
It shouldn't be
It's
allowed to
so
max.
good.
Yeah. Or use any moves
I
that
think
do
there was a
damage.
side bet where if Snom had like a positive KD with more than 3 kills, this guy would get like a special roll or something, and if not, Snom got banned. This is great.
Please win that.
If he brings Snom and it like wins a game, we'll be so happy.
Yeah.
But other than that,
G-Max
this
Snom.
team is really good. We didn't even talk about how good
Yeah.
Hitmontop was, and we don't have to.
Him on top is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck playing against this team. All I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, we are
So the
getting
next
down
one,
to it. We got
Charles.
4 more teams.
Yes.
All right, we have Blind Wizard and the Charleston Charizards, and a first
Yeah.
pick of Garatina.
Hmm. Don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
Giratina is like it's really bulky, but it doesn't really do a lot,
I don't know
especially on
what it
max. Because like
does
the only
without Max. That's my issue. I don't know what it does.
yeah, it's like really bulky support, I think, but like it's not amazing at that. I don't think. Like it's Tailwind for some reason. I don't know why,
I think it
but it
doesn't have
does.
Tailwind anymore. I think this thing's bugged again.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe it
Okay, but
does.
one thing it can do though, which is extremely funny, is you can do Surf Giratina. I'm pretty sure it gets Surf, right?
I don't know.
You can do Surf Giratina into the T-Tar.
Ooh, that's cool. I've seen people use Earthquake with their Excadrill into T-Tar. That was
Oh,
funny too.
that ended well, I'm sure.
Actually, what was even funnier was I played against somebody who self-iron headed their Tyranitar. But yeah,
So
sand
looking at
is
this,
pretty decent. You lose so hard to Intimidate, but Milotic does a good job of stopping that. You
And then the Condadel, Sylveon, Rotom Heat, like they don't really care.
yeah,
So
Firewater Grass Core with the Celebi, Rotom Heat, and the Milotic. Caracosta, I don't know what we're doing with here.
yeah, I don't know either. It's
Celebi
just
gets
another
Trick
grass
Room, so
weakness.
like you can do with that. But Celebi's base 100 speed. So using that in Trick Room's gonna be
Yeah.
hard.
hmm
This team just feels
They don't really have a
awkward.
they don't really
I
have a
don't
good
know like what you think about it, but it just feels awkward.
yeah.
The type
I
chart
think
looks
Rotom Heat
great
is a good
though.
pick.
The
Rotom Heat's pretty good because like it beats everything that beats sand. So
well, it doesn't take a uh,
well
water spout, but
well yeah, but it hits back with the electric
how
move
do
if it
you
lives or if it
stop
outspeeds.
Kyogre with this team?
Um
Garatina, I guess,
AV yeah, AV Leaf Storm Celebi
and hope.
and Hope. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a
Um
lot of mismatch pieces here. Naganadel wants some kind of support because it's got really low defenses. Uh,
yeah, I don't
like
even
Sandwiz
know
is
what
hard to
else really doing
intimidate.
on this team really. Maybe they do, but
Sylveon wants Trick Room, but your Trick
hmm
Room setter's Celebi, which isn't like that great for Trick Room.
so many weaknesses also Celebi has.
Yeah. Oh.
I'd give this team like a 6.5 again or something.
I think it's lower than that.
Because like it's not bad.
It's just like
Okay,
it just
maybe
feels
6.
awkward. I would give it less than 5. Like I just feel like
Really?
yeah, you like what is Sylveon doing? I guess you can self quick attack yourself into T-Tar or Giratina, but like your speed tiers are poor. You don't have like you don't have Tailwind because this thing's bugged. Your Trick Room setter is Celebi, which isn't ideal for setting up Trick Room. Like this is a lot of like a case where you're gonna get outsped if people can change the weather, and people are
Yeah,
gonna
if
outpace
they
you.
lose sand, they kind of lose.
And you don't
So
have like the bulk either to live attacks.
yeah. Well, they have Giratina, Tyranitar, and Melodic, and then I mean,
Right, but you
sort of
have
Rotom if you go
Tyranitar has
defensive
a
Rotom, but
4x fighting weakness, making it very vulnerable.
yeah.
Giratina isn't going to be able to do enough damage to kind of support itself,
hmm
especially without Max. I think Giratina without Max is so much more difficult to use.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this is extremely awkward, at least for me. We don't have a something to help Rotom set up Nasty Plot or Milotic to set up Coil. Unless Celebi no, Celebi doesn't get follow me.
I still give it like
I think
maybe a
the highest I
5.5.
would go is a 5. I'm just not convinced.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
All right.
Like I'm just trying to
Yeah, it's
understand
restricted and it's
like
mythical and not that
what
good.
like is holding like this team together, and it looks like it was kind of shoved together. I hate to be like mean because I have a worse team, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I just can't see. Like
Yeah.
I'm either too dumb to understand how this team works, or I'm missing something. But currently, I need proved wrong. So please prove me wrong.
Yes.
All right.
Win games for
Yeah.
us.
Next up, we have
Win all the
Absolion,
games.
the absolute Absolion. So he's very,
Yes.
very particular about the brand, and I'm glad he has the Absol to cover for that. So
Yes.
NDW, which has a worse typing than NDM, but is special, so it's not weak to Intimidate. Same stats
Mm-hmm.
other than special attack and attack are flipped. And then we have Victini. And actually, first glance, we have 4 psychic types.
Yeah, that's not that good. They do
No.
the second terrain though, which is pretty good.
Right.
The thing is like Morgrim does not really work that well in second terrain, so same
No.
with Absol.
No, definitely not. Can
And they
you
don't have a reliable
remind me what
trick room.
Victory Star does? I've never used Victini.
It's like 1.1 times boost to accuracy.
Really? Wait, is
Yeah.
it's just for Victini? Should have looked up what these
No, it's
restricted or these
for I
mythicals
think it's
did.
for the for your ally as well.
Oh,
Yes.
I have another. No, I don't want to switch between tabs. I should.
Um this team I feel like doesn't like I don't know. So they don't have really a good trick room setter, first of all. Well, they have follow me for it though, so I mean wait, what do they have okay. They have Victini, Gallade, Necrozma, and Whimsicott are like a trick room. Those are all like suboptimal trick room setters in my opinion.
Yeah, Whimsicott's not a trick
And
room setter. If you're using Whimsicott to set trick room, you're doing something wrong.
plus six trick room. Um, and then like they have well, how much does Necrozma have? Okay, 157. So Necrozma hits pretty hard. Hit pretty hard. They have like one trick room abuser in Rhyperior. Reggie Drago kind of feels misplaced here a little bit because
Well,
like
no, Reggie Drago and
now
Tailwinds are really good.
oh wait, yeah, I just saw that. Never mind. They do have yeah.
I
So Reggie
hate
Drago
Reggie
doesn't work.
Drago as a mon, but I can appreciate that that's what it's here for.
Yeah. And then they do have a pretty bad ghost weakness.
What? Ghost weakness?
Yeah.
Just don't play against
It's a
Spectre or Kali Shadow.
yeah. There's definitely not any Kali Shadows teams here, are there?
No, I mean you have Absol for that, but
What did you do against Kyogre, by the way? I'm just saying.
um, Prey. I don't know. You
Yeah,
can
that's pretty much
Whimsicott
it.
Sunny Day. Does
Yeah,
Reggie Drago? You can like maybe try to outspeed it with Reggie Drago or like with in Tailwind,
I guess.
because the Kyogre team didn't
Yeah,
have Tailwind if I remember correctly.
yeah, that's true.
So you have some hope there actually, because of what that team
Yes.
has. You have hope.
So I think I'd give this like 6.5, 7.
I want to go lower because of that just sheer typing issue.
Yeah,
Psychic is not the
yeah,
best
it does.
typing.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the typing is pretty
So I'm
bad.
more of like a 6.3, 6.2 because of that just sheer weakness. Also the fact that like I
Yeah.
guess NDW is setting your trick room, which it's actually not bad with in trick room, but not being able to
Mm-hmm.
max Dawn Wings hurts. So you're gonna be maxing like Victini, Togekiss, Rhyperior, which actually now
Yeah.
looking at it, it has very little it wants to max.
Oh, I have to go. Yes. I forgot. Okay, well, let's go. Okay. I'm going to the bathroom now. I'm ready. All right. This took a little bit longer than I expected, so
All right,
I
I'll
have
finish it
to
solo.
go.
All
All
right,
right.
I'll judge the other teams for you. Don't worry.
All right. I think tomorrow afternoon, if you're
Oh no,
still
we're still
available, I can.
recording. I'll just finish it.
Okay. All right. See ya.
All right, guys, you're stuck with me now. So that was my big issue with this team is that there was no like there's very little Dynamax options, and other than that, I think there's a very clear missing link for Trick Room as far as setting Rhyperior weakness policy, and the typing issue is a little bit annoying. So I think I was gonna give this a 6 point or a 5.4. I don't know. I'm just making numbers up at this point. I just feel like the typing weakness is bad, and like Whimsicott is a really good mon, but pairing it with Psychic Terrain could probably be a little worse for it, but we'll see. All right, next up we have the Sweet Mountain Sylveons, coached by Michi. And the first thing I see actually is the remaining points. 8 remaining points, so lots of room to upgrade if Michi so desires, but it's actually not a. Yeah, it's got some questionable pieces. So first off, we see his Deoxys attack, which is a monster. This thing has a lot of attack, a lot of speed, and it can Dynamax, so you can do a lot of damage with Deoxys right away. And you have Rage Powder support with Butterfree, so like you can protect it. I would say you run Focus Sash most of the time anyway, but just the fact that you can run physical or special and it has 180 special attack, it's going to do tons of damage. Ninetales is fast and can set Aurora Veil for you. Play bulkier with some of your other options, which Reshiram I think is going to be part of that option. Especially with the Aurora Veil, Reshiram is really hard to kill. Its typing is really good, being Dragon and Fire. So like you don't have the Fairy weakness, you don't have a Water weakness. Helps a lot, and Cradily is the answer to Kyogre because Storm Drain, and then you can KO it. We have a Hail Core as well. I guess I mentioned the Ninetales already, but we have Sandslash to go with the Slush Rush and go really fast and hit things. And 100 base attack is not nothing. Looking at, I guess, further into the stats, though, this team really struggles with bulk. Ninetales helps out a lot with that, but Deoxys attack really brings down like this team's bulk, at least the average bulk. But Zapdos Galar helps against people with Intimidate. Savali is every type you need it to be. Magnezone is a strong Mon, which I'm really surprised there's no way to set Trick Room currently, and that's like one thing that I'm concerned about. Deoxys attack can set Trick Room, but if you're using that for that, I don't think you're winning. So, as far as Dynamaxes on this team, it's Deoxys, Zapdos, Magnezone, Cradily, you have options to Dynamax. I feel like they might be a little below average. I think Deoxys is just going to get 2-shot anyway if you're Sash. And if you're not Sash, you get 1-shot by everything. So, for that reason, I think I'm going to give Michi's team a 4.6. I think it's an overall fine team, but I think that there's a lot of holes as far as bulk and offensive output other than Deoxys. But please prove me wrong. We'll see how this goes. And then lastly, we have the Grinning Gengars, coached by Death 2 Monkeys. Urshifu Single Strike was first picked, which is a really good mon. Then we have the Clefairy, which is a great partner for it. Incineroar being the best Intimidate user. And then the restricted being Solgaleo, and the mythical is Deoxys, just regular Deoxys, which is kind of similar to Deoxys attack, only it has less attack and a little more bulk. But I think that actually hurts it because it doesn't gain that much more bulk. It does gain 30 points, but it goes from 20 to 50. Whereas if it was going from 50 to 80, that'd be a lot different. Noivern gets Tailwind, which is nice. Gastrodon can take water attacks that Incineroar would want to take. Spectrier plus Solgaleo is a Bulldoze weakness policy, but you can max the Solgaleo. Arbaracle is paired with Clefairy, you can set up Shield Smash. And Doublade is extremely bulky with the Eviolite. So, let's see, like there's the typings are really weird with this team, I feel like. Because you have pretty solid resistances other than ground, ghost, and dark. Dark and ghost actually hit you hard with Spectre and Deoxys. I mean, you do have Urshifu and Incin that can cover both of those, so that's checked, and Clefairy is a great partner for both of those. I'm actually down to just give this team a straight up 7, solely because Clefairy supports Deoxys, Spectre, and Urshifu so well, and like you can max Spectre or Deoxys every game. I guess like one thing that's hurting this team is it doesn't have a lot of max options. Given that you have just the like you don't have like you can't max the Solgaleo, but you can max the Deoxys. So, but Urshifu is a great cleanup mon with the Sucker Punch, Wicked Blow, always crits. Get speed control with this team, which is another issue. Other than Noivern solves that. Trick Room, Solgaleo gets, and so does Deoxys, but you're not going to use Trick Room on a 150 base speed mon. And Incineroar is really good too. So I like this team a lot. There's a lot of like things that could probably go better, but I think that this is a fair rating for it, and I'm excited to see how this team performs. All right, and so here's the final ratings, guys. We have the Sacramento Score Bunny being the top team. I think that was the Kyogre team, followed by the Dope Dittos, and then the Royal Kingdras is your top three. But don't use this as like me trash talking your team. Use this as something to kind of showcase to me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. Do it, please. Mostly blame NINJOSH for this being wrong. This is all his fault. It's all his doing. But most part, here's the rankings, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and please bring your fairy, rock, and ice types when you play against my team. That's all I got for you. See you guys.